Dana White just got absolutely embarrassed at the Canelo versus Crawford press conference. I mean, absolutely shit on and embarrassed. Mogged, actually. He kind of ran from the question. And a good showing from combat sports media, who's normally terrible. We're going to get into it in just a second. Dana White embarrassed at the Canelo versus Crawford press conference. All right, so stick around to hear what happened. I'm Wyatt. This is Fight Society. Okay, so here is Dana White being absolutely shit on, mogged, embarrassed, all of that at the Canelo versus Crawford press conference. This reporter did not introduce himself, so we're going to have to find his name and give him a shout out, but this is what happened.
Good evening, everybody. A couple questions for Dana.
One, the haircut, fucking devious behavior to pop out looking like this. But he said the good evening, everybody, and you know he was just about to go in.
Dana, this fight, as you said earlier in the week, is set to be the third highest gate in combat sports history, the second biggest gate you've promoted alongside Mayweather-McGregor. The top 5 gates in combat sports history come in boxing, and they come in the last 10 years. So my question to you is, why then do you want to make sweeping changes to the Muhammad Ali Reform Act that is meant to protect fighters to bring about a business model that currently has your company already paid out $375 million in antitrust lawsuits and has 2 potential pending class action lawsuits on the way as well?
Well, this is...
And hold on. I have to say, shout out to the media or fans and everyone that was there for clapping at that question, because that was a fucking perfect question. I swear to God. He said, you've been a part of these massive events. He kind of butters him up, but then he throws the 1 lawsuit that's already been settled and 2 pending lawsuits, class action lawsuits for unfair business practices against the UFC. Boom. Fucking truth bombs at the Canelo versus Crawford press conference. This is the best question. And he keeps going, but this is the best question we've seen in quite some time at a UFC press conference. Typically, it's just been a big fight on Saturday. How are we feeling? It's a great opponent. How are you feeling? Like shit like that. Like, this is a great question.
Obviously, a long discussion. If you want to talk to me about that, set up an interview. This isn't about me.
Mogged. Bitched, bro.
And my business is about these 2 guys on Saturday night.
My follow.
Crawford and Canelo are sitting there like, oh, damn, that just killed the vibe. This got awkward. And Turkey Al-Sheikh is sitting there like, somebody kill him. Why is he not dead? Because in Saudi Arabia, they just go and someone disappears. But here in the U.S., in Vegas, with Dana White, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, R.I.P. Charlie Kirk.
Earlier this week, the California State Athletic Commission had a hearing about TKO trying to bring those changes to the Ali Act, and it was postponed 3 months.
Listen, I get it. You want to showboat right now. Set up an interview with me if this is really what you want to talk about.
Okay, but we all know how hard Dana White is to get for an interview. That would literally never, ever, ever happen. He's ducking the question. Dana's getting shit on, bro.
It's America, baby.
If you have questions for these 2, ask them and you can set up an interview with me.
Dana, my follow-up is, if TKO can't make those changes to the Ali Act, will you still invest in the sport of boxing? Will you compete in the market?
Listen, if you want to be an asshole, let's do it in private and we can do an interview.
Damn, Dana ran from that question. He got booed a little bit right there.
To the Ali Act, will you still invest in the sport of boxing? Will you compete in the market?
Listen, if you want to be an asshole, let's do it in private and we can do an interview.
Yes or no?
If you want to showboat, I get it. If you have questions for these 2 that are fighting on Saturday, that's a different story.
Fight.
It was starting to get a little bit awkward, and Canelo chilled it out a little bit with that joke, which was needed. That was mad funny. But Dana White, don't confuse this with like this guy being an asshole. He's a journalist. He's a reporter. He asked a tough question and Dana ran from it. Don't forget that. Dana went up in front of the mic on his own to answer questions, and he made it a victim. You want to be an asshole, all that. Now I get it. It's a long conversation. It is a yes or no answer though. At least the second question was a yes or no answer. And I think the answer is probably no if they can't make those changes. Because if you guys don't know, Dana White wants to change massive portions of the Ali Act, which is meant to protect fighters from promoters. In boxing, MMA is a different sport, so they don't have to adhere to it. But Dana wants to get into boxing, and he wants to change these laws, or him and TKO, so that they can essentially pay fighters less and a few other things where they can kind of skirt these governing bodies like WBA, WBO, WBC, IBF, all of that, and essentially do the UFC model where those entities don't matter. And even though you're a UFC world champion, you're technically just a company champion of the UFC. I know you guys understand how titles work in MMA. They want to bring that to boxing to where you're not WBC, the Ring, WBO, whatever. You're the TKO or the Zuffa boxing blah, blah, blah champion. So that's what he's referring to. And then the class action lawsuits for unfair business practices are pretty well talked about, pretty well known. So Dana White ran. This is Dana White getting embarrassed. The first time that it's not a question like John Morgan saying, so how we feeling about the gate tonight, Dana? Or some random guy saying former Mexican. But no, this is literally Dana. Look, I mean, look at this right here. Look at him just shrugging his shoulders. Oh, he's embarrassed, bro. And everyone's watching it too. And Turkey Al-Sheikh is looking for like the sniper that usually wipes somebody out like that.
This isn't a discussion to have at a press conference for these two that are going to fight on Saturday, two legends. If you want to set up an interview with me and ask me these questions, let's do it one-on-one.
Sounds
and
good.
you can ask me anything you want.
All right. Well, Terrence and Saul have a good fight.
Yeah, you have a question for these two?
No.
No? Beat it. Go ahead. Who's next?
We have a ring in the gym, buddy.
I have no idea what Canelo said right there, but Dana hurt, bro. Dana just got ran over by a reporter. And that just, you know, big bully Dana throwing his weight around and being like, all right, get out of here, because you can't make Dana answer anything. You know, of course, freedom to ask whatever you want, but also freedom not to answer. So that's pretty sick. I haven't covered Canelo versus Crawford at all. This is mostly an MMA channel. I know this is one of the bigger fights. It hasn't really interested me that much. I like Canelo. I like Crawford. This is a massive event. It's promoted everywhere. I'm still going to watch it, but I just haven't felt like any urge to cover it on my channel. And now that we have something interesting here, pretty pumped to see how MMA media handles themselves moving forward. And I'm telling you, this is why MMA YouTubers don't get press passes. This is why MMA guru Lucas Tracy, myself, MMA Joey, whoever it is. I'm not trying to say any of these guys are like better or worse, but none of us would ever get these UFC press credentials. And really, that's because they want the fluff questions. That's what they want, and that's what they're going to get. They're the UFC. So that's my thoughts, guys. Let me know yours down below. Do me a favor. YouTube has a new feature called Hype. You guys can help small creators like me blow up by hyping the video. It's totally free. Down below next to the chat and all of that, the comments, in the description, there is a hype option. That'd be great if you could do that for me. Thank you very much. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you want more from Fight Society? Like and subscribe below this video and click the join button to become a channel member today to get access to behind the scenes vlogs and members only live streams.